So now we begin our meditation on clarity and emptiness. Like most of our meditations, we're going to start by sitting up tall. This is a meditation that you can do lying down if you feel the need, if there's a requirement, or if simply enough, it's easier for you to focus that way. Make sure that you are comfortable. If you need to, you can come sit against the wall. You can bring support underneath the seat. One of the simplest meditation cues that I always use, that always helps me instantaneously remember the nature of meditation, is to allow myself to let go of the effort. So as you set up here and you sit up, remember that this is not about your doing something. It is much more about simply being. So getting comfortable, let's take 10 deep breaths to initiate that we are now in meditation. We're going to first start by connecting to clarity via the water element and the nature of water in our experience. So on a physical level, on a pranic level, and on a mental and emotional level. And then we'll connect with emptiness from the perspective, from our experience of the fire element. Again, working with it physically, pranically, mentally, and emotionally. And then we'll work on our direct experience of the two. Let's start by feeling the body, now that you've settled in. Feel your direct experience of being in this body. So often what happens to us, especially when we're consumed in thought, is that we lose connection to our embodiment. We literally become the mind, or we think we become the mind. It can be very hard to tune back in again. So very simply, feel directly what it is to be in your body in this moment. Feel the relationship between your seat and the ground. Feel it without it being a projection in your mind. Feel the length of your spine. Most often when we're directed to feel the length of the spine, we sit up. And just observe that, how you may have had the back rounded prior to being directed this way. Relax the abdomen. Relax the shoulders. And relax the face. Now let's connect to the water element in the physical body. Connecting to everything that has fluid, quite literally. So bring your attention first to the abdomen, this region of the body where the organ systems rest, the majority of them, where so much fluid exists in the body. And soften your awareness. Remember that when we're meditating, especially in the realm of clarity, we're not looking to project and we're not searching, but rather we're really being still so that what is here can reveal itself. So for example, the abdominal region, usually we don't feel the internal organs there unless they're actively doing something or unless there's some discomfort. So don't try to search for the feeling, but rather simply relax, maybe even bring your hands to the belly. And rather than searching for what you should be feeling, simply feel what is there. Notice the relief that comes without having to do that effort. Just feel what is there. And take your attention up to the mouth. The mouth and our sense of taste is deeply tied to the water element. And begin to soften through the mouth. It may be far easier to discover what it feels like physically to experience the water element in the mouth than it is the belly. Observe it without projection and without dialogue. So often we don't even get our direct experience because our mind is creating a narrative about it. Now, just feel what is fluid in the body, what naturally moves, what effortlessly and constantly moves, and simultaneously feel what is still. To know that the experience of the water element in the body is both of those things. It is what is fluid and what is resting. Now let's come into a pranic awareness, so an energetic awareness of the water element. I want you to feel around you 360 degrees, the energy that is there. You may find as you are sitting here that the body is swaying. This can continue into your pranic relationship to this water element. Can you mirror, can you find the mirror of stillness energetically within you, as you are witness to it outside of you? Can you connect to the openness energetically within you? Can you connect to the receptivity? Often when we feel angry, when there's sadness, when there's blame, it's very challenging to do. All we need is softness. Let go of the hold you have. Can you find the undefended nature of your being? Let's come to it from the emotional realm. Now you may not be having any of the emotions that are tied to water, and that's okay. This is practice. Maybe for when you are caught up in those emotions. But tune in. Can you feel where the blame or anger, the sadness, the grief, can you feel where those emotions lie within you? Where they've taken up a home in the body, in the emotional spectrum. And can you just be with it? Much like we often don't experience what's happening because our mind is coming up with a narrative, a lot of times we can't feel our emotions because we're too busy trying to fix them. Can you just be with it? And the way that the emotion arises is always different. Maybe for you it's a thought. Maybe it's a direct experience in the body, a sensation, a vibration. Just rest with what you feel. Nothing to do with it, just feeling it. And with the mind too, do you notice the pattern for you? Or maybe there's just a fluid stream of thought, or we get stuck in these old stories of blame, of guilt, of depression, of overwhelm. Clarity is not suddenly understanding something that wasn't here. Clarity comes when we find such a still point where we are that what has always been here can reveal itself. We long for clarity, we long for answers, we long for determinations. Can we be so receptive to this moment as it is, that what is here can make itself known? Can we drop the weight of all the preconceived, of all the assumption, of all the projection, and just be with what is here? Without the searching, it's not a treasure hunt. It's as if we're squinting to see something that requires our complete softening of our gaze. And you may feel it, you may feel a deep sense of stillness, and you'll feel the clarity arising. Don't grasp it, you won't lose it. We never lose anything that is truly understood. And continue to soften, continue to become more and more receptive in this moment, and just allow it to unfold. And now simply Allow what you have felt and experienced to be that. Remember, you don't have to grasp. It will come back to you. Just leave it be. We're going to shift now to the fire element, to emptiness. Having done this water element portion of the meditation, you may already have an idea of how these elements are tied. Just in hearing emptiness, notice where that's relevant right now for you. You can reorient your seat if you need to. If it's become a challenge to be upright and you want to lie down, you can do that. Let's start taking another 10 deep breaths. So we have a clean slate, shifting elements. And let's connect to the fire element in the physical body. Now you may feel a physical heat. If you do, you are more than welcome to bring your attention to those areas. It may be very common for you to feel warmth. If the physical body doesn't feel warm, orient to where there's warmth around you, just so you can connect to the quality of heat, of fire. And then, the fire element is deeply tied to our perception, to our direct recognition. So another way of orienting to the fire element in your physical body is to connect to the regions of the body that have a sensorial experience right now. I'll give you some examples. Maybe your abdominal organs are in the process of digesting, and you can feel the stomach, the intestines moving. This is an experience of the fire element in the body. Maybe there's some discomfort in a muscle group, the shoulders, the neck. Maybe there's an area of the body that's healing. Any place where there's sensation or transformation. For the women that are listening, maybe the reproductive organs are doing something on one end of the spectrum or another. Another way to physically connect to the fire element is to connect to your direct recognition, your direct witnessing, your perceptual field. Take a moment in whatever way just resonated to connect to the fire element. Again, maybe it is the processes of the body, digestion, the heat of breath. Maybe it is sensorial. Maybe there's discomfort or tension in a region of the body, or there's a scratch, a cut, a wound that is healing. You can feel it's transforming. Or maybe it is your direct perception. Take a few moments to connect to the fire element. Physically, you can even just soften the eyes beneath the eyelids, as our eyes are ruled by fire. Now connecting energetically to the fire element. Become aware again of the area around your body. And feel where there is a mirror of reflection between your energetic experience and warmth or heat around you. Resonate and recognize in yourself where this energetic disposition of transformation exists. Now connecting to the emotional matrix of fire. Our emotions like isolation and abandonment, rejection, loneliness, overconsumption, alienation, these things are deeply tied to the fire element. They may not be resonating with you in the moment, but see if you can connect to these emotions in your body, in your being. Sometimes the emotions reveal themselves in a thought stream. Sometimes the emotions reveal themselves in a sensation. Just observe. And paying attention to the mind as well. Note where the mind overconsumes the thought, when it becomes fixated and obsessed with the thought stream. Now see if you can just feel yourself letting go of your attachment to everything. Not in an apathetic way, but in a willingness to become completely empty. The reason that we struggle so intensely with having what we want and what we need consistently met is because we focus on 4 or 5 of the possibilities when there's a million possibilities in each circumstance. If we could become empty of our attachment, of our desire, even for a moment, we could allow whatever is to be enough. Take it from a simple angle. Just become empty of the thoughts. As you have a thought, let it go. Feel it dissolve. Allow it to dissolve. Can you feel that shift that comes when you are simply being, when you are receptive and empty? As I said, not apathetic and empty. So often we feel that if we have to come to a space of emptiness, where we are not attached, we are not consumed, we are not obsessed, we are not fixated, that it means that there's nothing there. Can we come to a space of emptiness that is full of openness? Full of receptivity, full of possibility, without projection. Now let's let go of the fire element. Take a few breaths to ease out of that. We're going to work on combining the two in our direct experience. water, and a fire. Now if you'd like to, as I said before, you can lie down. If you've been lying down, you can sit up, your choice. These meditations are such that we can still connect to the energetic quality and the direct experience even if we are lying down. Now this dynamic of water and fire tends to be very much about self and other, very much about either taking the blame or rejecting or isolating. There always is an other in the equation. Let's come back into meditation. Take a few deep breaths, orient again to being here. And let's work with the breath in relationship to water and fire. Become aware that you are breathing. And feel the fluid nature of your breath. The way it ebbs and flows. And notice the warmth of the breath. Remember the idea of movement in the body, there's fire there, so feel that warmth of movement of the breath. How it transforms every cell. Every breath that you take touches every cell of your body. Feel the fire element in that awareness. Now feel receptivity in your breath. Feel where you fixate, where there's that energetic quality of forcing or obstructing. And allow yourself to soften. Can you allow the body to breathe without fixation or control? Can you allow yourself to be a witness instead? To allow yourself to directly observe and be still. To allow yourself to be breathed. And you may find that you struggle with that. It's okay. Give it time. And remember, don't hold on. Don't attach. That's the struggle of water and fire together, is that we fixate and we suffocate. We drown. Allow yourself to keep softening. To come to a still place. To see that you are not in control of the breath, that the body can breathe without you. And to go empty of the need to control. Notice it in the physical body, this relationship of fire and water. Notice where there's fluid movement, where things are open, where the body is receptive, maybe the abdomen, maybe the heart center, maybe the throat or the face. The eyes are a wonderful space to feel the water and fire. Feel that the eyes become liquid beneath the eyelids. And see if you can witness what the eyes see with the eyes closed, without the eye muscles engaging. Notice how where there is receptivity, where there is openness, when you bring your attention to it, it gives a warmth to that area. This is the fire of perception. Whatever we see illuminates. Whatever we direct our attention to is ignited. But can we simply allow it to be a warmth and not a bonfire? So often what we bring our attention to, we fixate and obsess on. Can we just soften the gaze around it and see it for what it is? Can we come from a space of complete emptiness and witnessing? Remember, an emptiness that is full of possibility. Now taking a few deep breaths to make a clear transition. Wherever you are, I'm going to have you come into corpse pose. So lying down, setting up comfortably for Shavasana. And just drop into the stillness that you've cultivated. How often in life do we experience stillness and allow ourselves to just feel, not trying to grasp it forever, you have it now? Can you savor it with all of your attention without attaching to it? Can you allow yourself to melt into the ground? And when the thoughts creep up, can you tell yourself that has nothing to do with me? Feel warmth that is all around you. Feel the warmth of your awareness of what is all around you. And feel the play back and forth of being receptive and still, of being aware and empty, of being undefended and open. Of being unattached and transforming. Feel your body breathing without having anything to do with the flow, without fixating on it. Just feel your body being breathed. Let's take 10 more deep breaths in our corpse pose. And slowly start to move your hands and your feet, rolling to the right side and coming into the fetal position. And as you're ready to, coming up to set, and taking a few deep breaths. And bringing your hands to your heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.